Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Grow Up. Let's continue. So, we found a new ability and we're kind of in this weird point where there's only actually 2 more abilities to collect. And so, I think we're kind of supposed to get all the abilities first, in this case, and then run around. So, this star, this teleporter, I suppose, is where we'll go first, and then we're going to use this cactus star pod to try and grow up to this next ability. And in general, we're kind of just not hyper focusing on finding collectibles or anything like that. Even the plants that we're finding seem to be, for the most part, just desert versions of the plants we've already kind of found. So we're doing a lot of what I would call horizontal movement as opposed to... Alright. So I can pick up crabs. Flip them over too. Okay. So let's... up we go. You know, it might not even be really worth it to try to get to a teleporter. In a weird way, it might just be easier in the long run for me to watch out for rocks. It might be easier for me to just make mad dashes. And having played the previous game, it's kind of difficult to have a laid-back experience so far. You're kind of speedrunning it just because you know what to do. The climbing, for instance, here is not very hard. And frankly, if they took it out, you wouldn't really be doing much of anything because you wouldn't be pushing any buttons. Although, compared to the previous game I played, you still would have more gameplay mechanics than that. Even if you were just pressing upward and it automatically climbed. I could see this game going for a more kid-friendly, like really early childhood approach, and thus having an auto climb feature. It doesn't have that. And it is questionable how many more versions that you could have made of this as a series. You know how you get tons of abilities and all I can do is look at stuff? I'm not sure that's fair, says Pod. Just throwing out some conversation, I guess. So we're just climbing this, trying to find that, pretty much. Now, these sprouts, or stems, or whatever you want to call them, don't really open the door up for... let's be careful here. They don't open up a way that you could just shoot straight upward. So it is very much a case of they want you to get to the islands, and only the islands. I kind of feel like this game might suffer a little bit because of the fact that it was released just 1 year after the original game. I don't think that an annualized release of a small indie style game, even if it is being published by Ubisoft, makes a lot of sense. So there's apparently 7 of these, or 6 remaining of these that we're gonna have to do. Okay. It's almost pointless to even climb up here, because jumping up doesn't help me get back down. It's very possible I missed an island. I see 2, 3 already. Let's see. If I were to... This is just a bounce pad, I think. No, this could shoot me up. But yeah, not up enough to reach my goals. Looks like there might be an up current on the right there. Yeah, if this game had come out 2, even 3 years after the first game, that probably would have worked better. And that's not something you normally complain about. So is the piece that I'm trying to collect over there? Yeah. Let's take the air brakes off. But the time in which Ubisoft published this too is an example in which it for a brief second felt like EA and Ubisoft in particular were going to go down this route of trying really hard to be supportive to indie developers, and in one way or another have a system for new intellectual property to be made. Just always like that. Unfortunately, that really didn't ever take off and work that way. This is interesting. It is like just a foot short of where it needed to be. Alright, well, let's take the air brake and fall back down. What's this? This is new. Oh, it's just shooting me straight up. Which that was nice and all, but that's not what I needed to have happen. Alright, so I'm gonna just jump down here and grab onto the edge here. That giant fish thing in the sea is called a swimmosaurus. I made that up, but I'm sticking to it. Says pod. There we go. That's what we wanted. It's a kind of interesting analogy that the plants absorb the minerals in the rocks and use it to grow. The only difference is the starseeds use it to grow extremely large, larger than I think is realistic to believe you could actually have a plant grow. At a certain level, the amount of oxygen necessary or carbon dioxide for plants to maintain a certain size is pretty much the limiting factor on the size of everything. That's why so many creatures have lungs and other appendages designed to bring in more oxygen and air. Alright, I'm just gonna see if we can short this. If we can just cheat this all the way. Because if this next ability is the paraglider, then we don't really need to grow the starseed to this point. Or at least not for now. And then we could get another teleporter. I vaguely remember playing Grow Home, the predecessor to this game, but I feel like I did at some point probably play a little too thoroughly on the lower levels, when if I had just climbed to the top I would have been perfectly fine to reach every other level, reach higher abilities. Swoosh, sweet wings, jump off a high thing and try gliding. So, yeah. There's a ship part somewhere in the desert, bud. You might want a sun hat if you go exploring. We've got some more bug creatures. See if we can maybe grab the bug creatures and see if that is something. Or maybe what's happening here is we can't scan any of the life forms, any of the animals, until we get Mom put back together, and that is kind of the halfway point of this game. There was definitely some post main story gameplay in the first game, but it was mostly just collecting crystals. Trying to find this crystal. It's down here in this cave. There you go. Is there anything hidden around here? Doesn't really seem like it. Let's stand here, get shot up, and let's see. I said Y. Oh, you have to hold Y, not just tap Y. Tapping is the air brakes. Alright. So we're looking for the part, which I think is still higher. Yeah. Is the ship part here? Now that we can glide, we could probably do some of the challenges. Alright, so the ship part is here. And we are here. That is a far distance. Yeah, I don't see how we reach that just as things are. Let's grow this. Alright, now let's grab this guy. Here. No, you. Nah, they won't let me. Alright, and we're getting some major airtime now. Right, and if I tap that, and then tap this, we're looking for more areas, more. Alright, we're gonna grow this downward. Nope, I guess we're gonna grow this upward. Some of these definitely have their own minds. Yeah, and that's... See, I'm holding on, but it's still growing on its own. Alright. So... yeah. You run into the danger of this getting pretty repetitive, however, if we're just always going to have to grow 2 of these stems to get to an island, or potentially even 3 or 4 stems. Like you want to run into something more. It looks like we're gonna make it to 1 kilometer. And then we'll have to make some decision. Yeah, we're over 1 kilometer. You would kind of think that they would do something where the not a battery, so I probably should hold on for dear life while the battery decides to recharge. Yeah, if they did different things at different heights, different types of plants, that'd be kind of cool. See, that would shoot me, I think, in the totally wrong direction. Right. Let's see if we can grab these plants and scan them without falling off of them also. Alright. Like, it's just blocking me away. Can we get this? A thorny gaseous floor form like a pincushion that doesn't like you very much. The ouch. Okay. And then these other rocks are just floating and have a tendency to spin, making them not great platforms to try and work with. Let's just get over to this island. That was not an easy flower to scan. Let's look. Well, I missed a crystal. That's not a big concern right now. What I want to do is see if I can find... I guess there's another island here. So if I jump down to this point, I should be able to use that. Alright. just go this way. And we're going... we might be able to actually reach that higher point where the item is. But I wouldn't be surprised if we can't. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a system built in here that is very subtly making it impossible to reach certain heights. Also, though, I wouldn't be surprised if there is no system at all, and if you can do it, the game just lets you do it. I mean, this seems like this is more than happy to let me just get halfway there. Now, there's something about how this grows compared to the first game where you're not staying on the tip of it. Yeah, we've got another one. So we can make it. Like, if I get up here right on the tip of the plant, holding on with both hands, start it growing, it moves forward and messes and moves me to the backside. And here we go. We got another piece of mom that we can collect. That looks like a piece of mom's engine, bud. So, pod with his magnet can lift up the entire spaceship, but can't fly me around. There's something questionable about how this is working. Like, so we're about 1,500 feet. We're getting pretty great height. Seems like there's quite a few ship parts still left to collect. That's 2 ship parts completed, bud. We're on track to saving Mom. Yeah. So I kind of question that a little, if that's really where the end of the game will be. In the first game, Mom was just in orbit and you just fell out of the ship. A new flora form, scan it. As soon as we get this teleporter activated. There we go. And this flora form is tall, like properly tall. A bobbler. So I really don't feel like the bobbler is really any taller than the fungi. It kind of feels like you're just collecting all of these for a different reason. Let's see. How do we mark these as new or not new? See, because I have to hold down the X button. And so do I use it once? Is that what I do? To mark it as not new? That'll be an interesting question. What if I throw the same plant right next to everything? Just make a long list. Is an interesting, I guess, comparison. Apparently that cactus here, the sparrow, is much taller than several other things. And then that's just a seed. Interesting. Alright, well, we can also undo a lot of this. Okay, if I grab this, I can also undo all of this, so... Oh yeah, and we have that ball mode, which I'm not sure what that's for yet. So yeah, I guess I could remove all the plant life in this area for whatever point that serves. Or we could... Let me ask this, if I grab this, I can't... The nuts and bolts don't count as plant life. That's not super surprising. Let's look at the map. So we've got this telerouter, which means we could fast travel, or we could just try and float to the ship part. I think we could probably just try and float to the ship part. Like there's clearly another cave in there with clearly more crystals. And let's go in the cave and get the crystals. Sounds like they're somewhere over here. There's a cow. A stuffed cow. I can't dematerialize that. And I can't dematerialize the small vegetation. I need one more crystal. Get shot out of the cave. I thought I would get shot out of the cave, I guess. Really didn't. Can't really even see which way is the way out of the cave. Is it this way? Squeaky toys. Let's just climb to the top of this and get this crystal. And that should give us a third battery without having to spend much energy at all to do this. I still feel like, though, that even though it feels like we're kind of breezing through this, that the completionist run I probably want to do is going to require a lot more time. Alright. Do I have that in the right place? Yes, I do. Alright, well then we're good. We elevate ourselves with that. We hold down Y. and we just glide perfectly fine. This game manages to do something I think that is kind of amazing, which is have, you know, this is just an old pod message. That was something that was annoying in the previous game, is that eventually you started seeing the exact same messages over and over again. But yeah, there's no invisible walls, it seems like, here. Let's see. Better grab it before it rusts. Looks like it's landed near the waterfall. So, like, no invisible walls. You can just get it and get it done quickly and easily. Now, oh no, now I have to tap. Now it's kind of funny here. If we collect all the ship parts, then why could we not just stand in the ship and potentially collect everything we need to collect, or just be brought to where we need to go? Let's see. We can put a lily pad here, for whatever that's worth. And see, this is a whole section here. Somewhere way down here is a starseed of something. There's a whole bunch of lily pads over here. Yeah, somewhere over here there's a starseed that we're supposed to use to get up to a height. I don't even see it. You know what? It probably doesn't even show up yet. I bet what I'm gonna end up doing is going around in circles and ending up to having to fast travel, like, back to this location to make sure this starseed grows all the way to its max health, like max height, like this one did, before another starseed appears. But if that's the case, then why is there a starseed star plant here? Yeah, I'm left with some questions. I am left with some odd questions. Let's put that there. And mission stats, we've now gotten to 1300 meters. We are one crystal away from at least one more battery. We're one remaining ability away. Apparently, on the left, that is a collection of all the parts that we needed, and we're filling that in. I didn't realize that's what that was. That just looked like a weird symbol. And yeah, we haven't done any challenges, so we'll try and do that. I think we'll probably try and keep challenges till kind of the end of the game, because every 30 minutes I put into this game, I get a little bit better at the controls and a bit more used to it, since it is slightly a little bit wonky, but not terrible. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.